Let's go ahead and bring in Ken Elston. He's Associate Dean of Arts and Sciences and Director of Performing Arts at High Point University in North Carolina. Ken, thanks for joining us. Talk a little bit about the overall impact this is having on the art world.
Well, thank you very much for having me tonight. It is an unprecedented impact on the art world, and notoriously a vulnerable group of not-for-profit organizations that bring arts into communities. So this is a very important time for people to pull together to support the arts, and I believe, I'm very optimistic, that new arts are going to come out of this, and that people are going to be seeing work that grapples with new crisis and a new way of dealing with things.
There is, of course, the art behind you on the wall, and there's the art that we see on stages. I've seen a lot of that going online. Obviously not the same, but have we already seen alternatives to exhibiting art?
Absolutely. I think the generosity of arts groups and arts professionals has been, well, it's been inspiring. There has been an opening of archives, and there has been an invitation to collaborate across technology to make new works. And certainly artists make sense out of chaos. They interpret that human experience that is happening around us, and that's what artists are doing and will continue to do, no doubt, as we grapple with this new normal.
Thanks to virtual reality, there are some museums in the world that you can visit from the comforts of your own home. That doesn't really work the same for smaller galleries, smaller museums, and lesser-known artists. What type of impact will this have on those?
Well, that is very hard to say, and I think you've really put your finger on something that is going to have a great deal of impact. But the smaller, more vulnerable independent artists and galleries and performance organizations may suffer from this impact, and we may take some time to recover. I'd also like to say, although it is exciting that new technologies can bring us to amazing places, you know, we share breath as humanity, making new discoveries, experiencing particularly the performing arts, but in galleries as well. The opportunity to share the experience is a very human, very important thing, and we suffer when we lose it, I think.
Do you expect us to see a restructuring of how the art world operates in a sort of post-COVID-19 world?
I think we will certainly see art that grapples with it. I think we will see a lot of academic discussion and colloquy around this idea of how do we successfully teach the arts through technologies, and what do we give up when we do that. I think that we will see a great deal of new work, and no doubt there will be innovation that comes out of the necessity to invent. And we will be seeing some of this innovation make new works that we hadn't dreamed of before.
There is talk about a possible federal bailout. It often talks about Wall Street. It talks about workers. Not a lot of talk about bailing out artists. Are they a priority in this country? How is that reflected in these discussions in Washington?
You know, I used to joke that I would whisper investment banking over my children as they slept, because we do bail out investment banks, so we tend not to bail out the arts. I think that we value creativity, we value innovation, we value collaborative teamwork and deadline management, and these are things that artists actually do exceptionally well. And so one wonders what we give up if we don't embrace the arts and all it has to give.
I have a 3-year-old at home who does a daily doodling class thanks to the Kennedy Center and Mo Willems there, and we are seeing a lot of artists go online. Is there perhaps a silver lining here that art might become more available to more people around the world?
Well, as I mentioned, the generosity of artists in sharing their work and sharing the ways to keep the education going, keep people involved, keep audiences together. This is very inspiring and important, and I do think that there is always with technology a step forward. And just as your 3-year-old can share his or her work with teachers and with their peers, I think that ability to share seamlessly across borders and between nations is going to have positive effect when audiences in China can see students in America and China and in other countries working together to create new works and tell the story of the human journey from this cultural perspective. This is a very important and exciting time.
Important and exciting and interesting. Ken Elston from North Carolina's High Point University, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.